The Federation of International Football Association (FIFA) has officially confirmed the dates for the Super Eagles' upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda's Amavubi and Zimbabwe's Warriors. The announcement was made on the Super Eagles' official X account on Tuesday. The three-time African champions will face the Rwandan in an away match on Friday, March 21st at the Amahoro Stadium in Kigali as part of Match Day 5, while their next fixture will be against Zimbabwe on Tuesday, March 25 at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. Currently, the Super Eagles have yet to secure a win in the qualifiers with 3 draws and 1 loss from their 4 matches. A civil society organization, Nigeria Resonance Group, has called on the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to take decisive action to recover 13.4 billion naira diverted from the state coffers into private accounts under the administration of Governor Usman Ododo and bring all those involved in the act to justice. The leader of the Nigerian Resonance Group, Usman Okai Austin, who made the appeal in a press conference in Abuja, also urged Governor Usman Ododo to act responsibly and return diverted funds and uphold the principles of good governance. Clever News, Imofon Okon has the details.
Lamenting over what it described as a continuation of corruption and impunity, similar to the pattern established by the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, a civil society organization, Nigeria Renaissance Group, said the diverted fund, 13.4 billion naira, which was released by the federal government in December 2024, was meant to drive development across the 21 local government areas in Kogi State, but was diverted from the state covers into private account under the administration of Governor Usman Ododo. The civil society organization therefore urged Governor Ododo to immediately return the diverted fund to the state treasury so that it can be used for its intended purpose.
We demand that Governor Usman Ododo immediately return the 13.4 billion naira to the state treasury so that it can be used for the purpose which it was released for. The development of Kogi State and its peoples is very, very crucial. 2, intervention by the Attorney General and Anti-Corruption Agency. We call on the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission to take decisive action to recover this money and bring all those involved in this act of corruption to justice. The failure to act swiftly will only embody further mismanagement of public funds in Kogi State.
The organization is demanding a full-scale forensic audit of the state finances and an independent investigation into all government transactions involving public funds. The CSOs want an urgent end to the culture of political godfatherism and corruption.
Apart from the 13.4 billion naira intervention fund meant for local government that we are talking about, another 3 billion naira was released by World Bank for the development of rural area. As we speak to you, the governor himself, Governor Usman Ododo, gathered a group of people, which we don't know, representing some fictitious or fictional local government, and a check was presented to them on behalf of the local, on behalf of 80 local communities. 80 local communities that does not have name. No names of local communities was mentioned. As we speak, this money has been shared. And again, I want to put it clear that, one, we will continue to raise our voice against maladministration that is going on in Kogi State.
A thorough investigation into financial mismanagement in Kogi State. This is not an isolated incident. Kogi has a troubled history of financial misconduct under the leadership of Governor Yahaya Bello. And now his successor, Usman Ododo, appeared to be following the same corrupt path. We demand a full-scale forensic audit of the state finance and the independent investigation into all government transactions involving the public fund. And at the end of the culture, of political godfather, and end the culture of political godfatherism and corruption, what do we expect when a politician like Yabelo financed the mismanagement, had picked his own successor? It is not surprised that the governor is replicating the same corrupt practices. The people of Kogi State must break free from the cycle of political godfatherism that continue to enrich a few and impoverish the masses. Kogi State cannot continue to survive on private account. We must reclaim our state from the grip of corruption and ensure that the public fund serve the purpose, the people, not a select few individual.
And on the other hand, I want to say that we cannot continue to hide under the deceptive silence of our stolen voices as a people in Kogi State. And what do I mean? We cannot have corrupt practices handed down from the immediate past administration, as have been alleged, and is still under investigation and trial with the EFCC. I think if the president have deemed it fit to empower the local government through the local government autonomy, it shows that there have been witnesses to total diversion of funds that are meant for local government usage. If monies are released to the rural poor to be used in their development, let us not tamper with it.
According to the organization, this is not an isolated incident. Recall, Kogi State has a troubling history of financial misconduct under the leadership of Governor Yahaya Bello, and now his successor Usman Ododo appears to be following the same corrupt path. Imefon Okon, reporting for Clever News.
50 years after its establishment, Yendadi, a community in Kasuda local government area of Katsina State, has finally been connected to electricity. The council chairman, Rabiu Aliu Kusada, stated this in Kusada during an interactive session with journalists on Tuesday. Kusada explained that the community, home to thousands of residents, had been in darkness for decades before the intervention of Rada's administration, which reconnected several areas previously cut off due to damage from downpours, adding that the new development would boost the local economy. Meanwhile, some residents have expressed joy over the development and praised the government for bringing electricity to the community for the first time in history. The Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria, FOM1, has called on Muslim women to strictly adhere to the rules and regulations guiding the use of the hijab, the head covering conventionally worn by female Muslim faithful. The call was made by the Edo State chapter of the association while commemorating with the 2025 World Hijab Day. The program, which had a theme, Hijab is on silence, held at the Form 1 Nursery and Primary School, Lucky Way, Benin City. Addressing guests and participants, Edo State Form 1 Amira Hajia Husseina Abdu, as the chairperson of the day, Professor Medina Kadiri, shared more light on the essence of wearing the hijab, as well as how the day should be celebrated.
Today I stand before you to talk about the symbol of faith, identity, and empowerment that has been misunderstood, stigmatized, and silenced for far too long. I am, of course, talking about the hijab. The hijab is not just a piece of cloth. It is a declaration of faith, a statement of identity, and a symbol of resistance. Muslim women will not be silenced, will not be reduced to stereotype or limited by societal expectations.
Let you know that hijab is your head covering. It's not your brain covering. It covers your head, it does not cover your brain. You must remember that. Which means you should not have any restriction. There should be no boundary.
Describing the hijab, The resource person Hajia Umina Umomo dwelled on the 2025 Hijab Day. Hijab is on silent. She advised all, particularly the youth, to shed timidity and should not be forced to wear the hijab. Other invited guests were not left out as they also have indecent dressing.
We will never be tired. We will continue to use hijab. No matter what people say, no matter how people look at us, we will continue to use hijab. Under the sun, we'll continue to use hijab. Whether we are hot, we continue to use hijab. Whether we are lying down, we continue to use hijab. Anyhow, anywhere we meet ourselves, we will not be ashamed to use hijab.
As a Muslim, you're supposed to wear your hijab. Makes you have pride. One, makes you look like a better Muslim.
We are confident with our hijab and we cannot be silent on the hijab.
Students from the Form 1 group of school entertained the audience with various activities with emphasis on the concept of hijab, taking turns to share what the day means to them. High point of the occasion was the presentation of hijabs and veils to participants who graced the occasion. Travelers, mostly those embarking on trips abroad from Lagos and Abuja, have been lamenting the shoddy treatment they receive at the airports with their consumables. Some travelers who spoke with News complained that some delicacies packaged for their loved ones abroad are usually seized and thrown into waste baskets. Unconfirmed reports say these airport officials now go back to retrieve the items for their use. Such consumables include fish, beef, local foods, drinks, and more. Travelers are therefore willing to know what constitutes contraband in the consumables, but according to them, no concrete explanation is ever forthcoming. We hear the practice of trashing and later going back to retrieve them for personal consumption is being investigated by relevant authorities, said one traveler.